Good morning, student. Today we'll go for solution chapter part 2. Previous class, the part 1 we have discussed in types of solution, gaseous solution, liquid solution and solid solution, and different concentration of solution, molarity, molality and normality. Today we'll go for one of the new concept of different concentration of solution is called mole fraction. The mole fraction is symbol is small x. Mole fraction is defined as number of moles of components. The number of moles of component to number of moles of component to total number of all components is called mole fraction. Okay, here the different concentration means here the mole fraction means it is a number of moles component to total number of all component. Means here the formula XAB or XAB equals to XA divided by XA plus XB, or the another formula NA equals to NA divided by NA plus NB. This is the formula Na equals to Na divided by Na plus Nb or Xa divided by Xa plus Xb. We can view this is the formula. Means number of moles of component present in total number of all components is called as mole fraction. Coming here, I will write the formula. 20 gram of sodium hydroxide, 20 gram of sodium hydroxide is dissolved in 200 ml of water or 200 gram of water. Is here the smaller component is a solute, larger component is a solvent. Component A and component B. Component A and component B means here the 20 gram of sodium hydroxide presents in 200 gram of water. Means here the 20 gram is dissolved in 200 ml of water. Here N means here it is having a X. A, this is we are consider A, this one we are consider B. Here XA, here NA equals to XA divided by XA plus XB. Means what is the moles means here moles. You should know the molecular weight. We have to find out the molecular weight of sodium hydroxide first. Here the sodium hydroxide we are getting here 20 divided by what is the molecular weight of sodium hydroxide, here the 40. You will get the product. And what is the water? 200 divided by what is the molecular weight of water? 80. That time here we are getting it 20 divided by 40, 0.5. 200 divided by 80. 200 divided by 18 means you are getting here 80, 10, 11 point something, 11.2. 11.2 it will form. This is the mole fraction. You have to calculate the mole fraction. Means the formula XA equals to XA divided by XB, okay, or we can Na equals to Na divided by Nb. Here the mole fraction means here 20 divided by 40 will get 0.5. We are consider here it is having a Na, okay, or Na, and here it is Nb. Now we will go for here the mole fraction of A equals to XA equals to, what is the Na value? Na divided by Na plus Nb. Okay. You will go for what is the value? 0.5 divided by 0.5 plus 11.5. You will get the value. Okay. Next one, xb equals to what is the value? 11.5 11.2 divided by 0.5 plus 11.2. Okay, you are getting it is having a xb value. Okay, xa and xb, mole fraction A and mole fraction B, means number of moles of component presents in total number of all component. Here also number of moles of component presents in total number of all components. You have to calculate the value. This is easy, you can calculate. Okay, this is the mole fraction. The formula of the mole fraction formula, number of moles of component. Okay, the mole fraction formula, X equals to number of moles of component present in total number of all component is called mole fraction. This is the formula of mole fraction. Suppose you should know the moles. How to calculate the moles? Suppose here the 20 gram of sodium hydroxide is dissolved in 200 gram of water. 20 gram is solute, 200 gram is solvent. Solute divided by solute molecular weight. Solvent divided by solvent molecular weight. Okay. Solute divided by solvent molecular weight. Solvent divided by solvent molecular weight. We will get a moles. This is a moles. You should remember. Moles A divided by moles A plus moles B. Okay. This is a moles B. Or if you want the mole fraction of solute and solvent, both we can calculate the mole fraction. If you want the mole fraction of solvent, means this is a water. The mole fraction means water, means the number of moles here 200 divided by 18, you will get a mole fraction. Mole fraction B you have to calculate means mole fraction B divided by mole fraction A and divided by B. This is the Na divided by Na plus Nb. Na means mole fraction of solute, Nb is mole fraction of solvent. If it is more than 3 components, 4 components, here A, B, C you have to be done. That's why we have mentioned number of moles of component present in total number of all component A, B, C, that is called as mole fraction. I will go for another problems. I will take here another problems. Okay. Suppose here the sodium chloride or sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide. Okay. I will take the potassium hydroxide. How much potassium hydroxide? 56 gram of potassium hydroxide. 56 gram of potassium hydroxide dissolved in 500 gram or 180 or 360 gram of water. Calculate the mole fraction. Okay. You should know the potassium hydroxide. This is the solute, this is the solvent, component A, component B. First you should calculate the moles. Moles means solute divided by solute molecular weight, solvent divided by solvent molecular weight. How much solute is there? Solute is here 56. What is the molecular weight of potassium hydroxide? Is also 56. Okay, you will get how much? 1 moles. And coming to here, solvent means how much gram is there? 360 gram is there. 360 divided by what is the molecular weight of water? Ag. You will get here 20. Means here 1 is a XA and 2 is a XB and NA and NB, whatever you do. If NA and NB, here NA and here NB, calculate the mole fraction of potassium hydroxide. Mole fraction symbol is X. X here potassium hydroxide means XKOH equals to, what is the moles? Here 1 divided by 1 plus 20 means mole fraction A divided by moles means moles A divided by A plus B, moles of solvent A, B divided by A plus B. Here 1 divided by 1 plus 20, you will get it is having a mole fraction of potassium hydroxide. If you wanted a mole fraction of water means XH2O equals to 20 divided by 1 plus 20, you will get mole fraction of water. When we are getting both mole fraction A and mole fraction B, it should be nearest to 1 or you will get 0.99. Then only you will get correct. Or you can cross check when we are getting mole fraction of A. When we are getting mole fraction of A value, you add to the mole fraction of A value is 1 minus, we are getting a mole fraction of A value, whatever you get it here, 1 divided by 21. Okay, 0.21 will come in. 1 divided by 21 means here how much? 0.21. 0.21 means 1 divided by 0.21. Okay, here XB value. Already we are getting A value means, here minus means here 1 divided by 0.21 means you will get here value 0.79. 0.79 and 0.21, it should be 1. That is, you can calculate the mole fraction. This is the concept of mole fraction. Let us go for one problem. We will take it is having another benzene. You will take it is having a benzene. 22 gram of benzene is dissolved in another problems I will take here. 22 gram of benzene dissolved in 144 gram of carbon tetrachloride. Calculate the mole fraction of benzene and as well as carbon tetrachloride. Okay. You know here the benzene molecular weight, how much solid is it? Solid divided by solid molecular weight, solvent divided by solvent molecular weight. Here solid how much gram is there? 22 gram. What is the benzene molecular weight? 78. Here getting a 22 divided by 78, we are getting value of Na. And coming to the solvent 144. What is the molecular weight of carbon tetrachloride? Carbon atomic weight is 12. Chlorine is 35.5 into 4. You will get the molecular weight of carbon tetrachloride 154. Here getting here Nb. Okay. You calculate it is having a mole fraction of benzene equals to Na divided by Na plus Nb and mole fraction of carbon tetrachloride means Nb divided by Na plus Nb. Okay, what we are getting, the value is 22 divided by 78, that is Na value, and 144 divided by 154 we get Nb value you can easily calculate N benzene equals to Na divided by Na plus Nb, and X carbon tetrachloride equals to Nb divided by Na plus Nb. Is the values, both values equals to 1, or you can calculate Nb value. When one value you are getting this, you can minus the 1 minus Nb value, you will get 1 Na. Or if you want to Nb value means you calculate Na value, X benzene value. X benzene value you calculate means you are getting 1 minus X benzene, you are getting X carbon tetrachloride. Or you can calculate the X carbon tetrachloride value, 1 minus X carbon tetrachloride value, you will get X benzene. You can easily calculate mole fraction of any compound, solute and solvent if the more than one concentration also you can calculate. This is the mole fraction. What is mole fraction? Number of moles of component present in total number of all components is called as mole fraction. The symbol of mole fraction is X. Okay. Next we will go for another concentration of the solution is called percentage of solution. Okay. In percentage, we are getting 3 types of percentage: mass by mass and mass by value and value by value. Okay, if the weight by weight means we can write here mass by mass, and here the mass by value, here value by value. Okay, if the first one, the percentage of mass by mass, okay, here the number of the definition, the number of parts, the number of parts by mass of solute, the number of parts by mass of solute in 100 parts by mass of solution. This is very important and easily find out. Mass by mass, number of parts by mass of solute in 100 parts by mass of solution is called mass by mass. You can calculate here also what is the mass by value. The same concept, the number of parts by the number of parts by mass of solute in 100 parts value of solution is called mass by value. Same concept here also, value by value means you can calculate the number of parts by value, value of solute in 100 parts value of solution is called value by value. This is the percentage of solution, weight by weight, weight by value, value by value. I will give examples of first one is weight by weight, Here I will take here 10 gram of sugar. You take it as sugar. 10 gram of sugar dissolved in 90 gram of water. Okay. 10 gram of gram by gram. 10 gram of sugar is dissolved in 90 gram of water. What is the percentage? We can easily calculate. This is the part A. Here given is the A part. Solid is A, solvent is B. When here solid is A means it is the percentage of solution equals to A divided by A plus B into 100. Percentage means you have to calculate 100. A means what is the A value? 10. Divided by 10 plus 90. You are getting into 100. Okay. Here 10 divided by 100. 10 divided by 100, 0.1 into 100, you will get it is having a percentage. How much percentage? 10%. You can calculate here 1 divided by 100 means you can here 100. Yes. You will get 10%. Or I will take here 15 gram is dissolved in 85 gram means here also same value 15%. Okay, means here the 15 divided by 15 plus 85. 15 divided by 15 plus 85. 15 plus 85 how much? 100 into 100. You are getting a 15%. If you calculate both are 100 means you are getting easily percentage of solute or percentage of solvent. Suppose I will write here, you can here 30 gram is dissolved in 70 gram means this is 30%. 50 gram is dissolved in 50% means 50%. But if I will give here the 21 gram of solute, 20 gram, 1 gram of sodium hydroxide is present in 120 gram of solution, water, 120 gram of water, we cannot tell directly. Go for formula. A is a solute, A plus B into 100. Means with the formula here A, this one is B. Go for formula. Percentage of NaOH equals to 20 divided by 21 divided by 21 plus 120 into 100. You will get percentage of sodium hydroxide. If you want the percentage of water means 120 divided by 21 plus 120 into 100 means you will get percentage. Whatever, if you want the solute percentage means solute divided by solute plus solvent into 100. Solvent percentage means solvent divided by solute plus solvent into 100. You will get both percentage of solute. This is the mass by mass percentage. If the mass by volume also same, volume by volume also same, but we are mentioned the gram and volume. I will give here, if the percentage of solution means we are given the value, in case the same here, listen here, 10 gram is solute is present in 90 gram. If the gram by gram means we have to both should be 100 gram. Okay. Next one, the second one, this is very important. Weight by value. Weight by value means same quantity 10 gram of sugar, 10 gram of sugar, not dissolved in 90 gram or 90 ml. 10 gram of sugar is dissolved in 90 ml alla. ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರುತ್ತೆ 100 ml means 10 gram present in 100 ml of the solution. 10 gram present, 10 gram of sugar present in 100 ml of water. Here the gram, here ml, weight by volume. Okay, when we are making value by volume, weight by volume, it should be 100 gram ml or whatever it may be the value. Here 10 means here the same it is having a 10 gram is 10 divided by, we have to write here 100 into here also percentage also 100. 10 gram is present in 100 ml. Okay, this is the percentage of weight by volume. Means 10 gram already present in 100 ml. Okay, that is the weight by volume. Volume by volume means here volume by volume means 10 ml of solution. 10 ml of solution ethanol, 10 ml of ethanol is present in total 100 ml of water. That is gram by gram, gram by ml, and ml means volume in volume, gram in volume, and gram in gram means weight by weight, weight by volume, volume by volume. This is the definition of percentage of solution. Okay, this is one of the important fact. Next we will go for the problems. Also they will ask it is any problems. Suppose I will take the glucose. They are asking it is a glucose. 18 gram of glucose dissolved in 18 gram of glucose is dissolved in 1000 ml of water or 500 ml of water. Sorry, 500 gram of water. Means this is A and this one B. You can calculate the percentage of glucose means 18 divided by 18 plus 500. You will get the percentage of glucose. If you want the water percentage means 500 divided by 18 plus 500 into 100. Into 100 is very very important. This is the percentage of solution. Okay. These are the next important percentage of solution. Next we will go for last concentration of solution, that is parts per million. ppm means number of moles of solid present in 10 to the power of 6 or 1 million of the solution is called parts per million. We will go for what is the parts per million value. Okay. ppm, parts per million. Parts per million means number of moles of solid. Here the number of moles of solid is present in the part with small component. Number of parts of solid present in the total number of solution should be 10 to the power of 6. 10 to the power of 6 means here 10 lakh of the solution. Okay. Here. Okay. The definition of both parts per million ppm equals to number of parts of component. Number of parts of component, number of parts of component in the solution divided by total number of all components. Total number of all component. Total number of part of all component. Total number of parts of all component in the solution into 10 to the power of 6 is called parts per million. This is very solid. You have to take traces quantity. Traces quantity of solute present in the large quantity of solvent, that is called as parts per million. Okay, this is also one of the important concentration. And the solute means we can observe where we can observe in water the salt content is there. Suppose the chloride content, fluoride content, and any magnesium content and any minerals is there means we can calculate the hardness of water by ppm level. In the ppm level, here the water should be below the 100 ppm is there means we can easily calculate. The parts per million. Hardness of water we can calculate. In water, sum of solute is there. That is called as parts per million. Traces of solute presence in the water. That is one of the solute is dissolved in solvent. That is the concentration. Okay. Molarity, molality, mole fraction, normality, and percentage of solution, parts per million. These are 6 are different concentration of the solution. Here the molality is independent concentration, does not change the concentration if they increase the temperature. That is one of the important factor. Next we will go for another solubility of the solution. Here what is different types of solution we have discussed. First one, the solubility. What is solubility? Solubility means we have discussed gaseous solution, solid solution and liquid solution. Suppose gaseous solution means we cannot, it is under control. In laboratory we are doing only the liquid solution. In the liquid solutions, the small quantity of solid is dissolved in the solvent. If the solubility factor, we are doing only which type of solution? Which type of solution? Liquid solution. In liquid solution is what will happen here. When the liquid solution is, first one will go for solid is dissolved in liquid. Okay. Next one, gas is dissolved in liquid. Next one, liquid is dissolved in liquid. Means we are solvent, we are taken solvent, is liquid is called as liquid solution. Okay. Here, when we are taken here a solute, okay, solute is a solid and solvent is a liquid. We are already discussed in previous chapter. Here sugar is a solid and water is a liquid. To form a solution or sugar solution. Okay. We have taken the large quantity, maximum quantity of water, specific amount of solute. Suppose we are making juice means we are not adding lot much of sugar and equal quantity of water. We are using how much sweet is required, that much only we are making a solution. That is called as a solution. Means whatever we are taking a solute, we are to dissolve in minimum quantity of solvent, particular quantity of solvent. That is called as solubility. Okay. If the solubility of concentration solution is what will happen when the depend upon what is the factor affecting of solubility. Factor affecting of solubility. Factor affecting of solubility. First one, nature of solute and solvent. If the solute is solubility is difficult means we are not making a solution. Or solute is okay, sometimes solvent is particular, solute is dissolved in particular solvent. If that solute is not dissolved in water means we have to take another particular solvent. Okay, that is very very important. If inorganic salt is freely soluble in water, but inorganic salt is not soluble in organic solvent, That's why particular solid you have to take the particular solvent. That is very important. That is the nature of solid and solvent. That is one of the factor affecting of solution. Second one, temperature is very important. If the temperature is increases means sum of compound solubility is easy. We are making any product, suppose we are adding sugar and water, the solubility is there. Suddenly we are temperature is increases means immediately the sugar is freely soluble in water. Because if the increase the temperature, solubility also increases. When here the solute and solvent equal to solution, we can write here also solute plus solvent plus heat equals to solution. That is the temperature is also very important. If the increase the temperature or decrease the temperature. If the increase the temperature means solubility of solute is increases, solubility is increases. If the decrease the temperature means solubility is decreases. Depend upon the solubility nature, that is the factor affecting of solution means if the nature of solid and solvent. The second one is temperature. Temperature is very important. Depend upon the solution. Okay, this is the factor affecting of solution. Next we will go for the first one. The first concept is solid is dissolved in liquid means when the 10 gram of any solid is dissolved in water, if the temperature increases means solubility also increases. This is the solid is freely soluble in liquid. Particular solid is dissolved in particular liquid. If inorganic salt is there, you take ammonium chloride, sodium chloride, any inorganic salt is freely soluble in water. Suppose inorganic salt is not soluble in organic solvent. Suppose organic compound is not soluble in water. Organic compound is soluble in organic solvent. That is very important. Solid in liquid. Okay. Next, another factor is gas in liquid. Gas in liquid. Where you can observe the gas in liquid? We can oxygen gas is present in water, you can observe, or carbon dioxide gas is dissolved in water. This is concept is applied Henry's law. Okay, this is very important. State Henry's law. Gas is dissolved in liquid. Henry's law is proposed that at a constant temperature, the solubility of gas is dissolved in liquid is directly proportional to vapor pressure of the solution, which upper surface of the solution. We can observe here, I will take here carbon dioxide is dissolved in water, where we can observe that is soft drinks or soda water. In soda water, you can observe here they are taken in the solvent, water and sodium bicarbonate. They are passed carbon dioxide under sealed pressure. When we have opened the cap, the pressure is come out. Here, the carbon dioxide is a solute. Water is a solvent. Gas in liquid. The Henry's law states that at a constant temperature, the solubility of gas is dissolved in liquid. The solubility of gas is dissolved in liquid is directly proportional to vapor pressure of upper surface of the liquid or partial pressure of upper surface of the liquid is called Henry's law. Henry's law is state that at a constant temperature, the solubility of gas is dissolved in liquid. Gas is dissolved in liquid is proportional to or directly proportional to partial pressure of upper surface of the liquid. Upper surface of the liquid or solution is called Henry's law. At a constant temperature, the solubility of gas is dissolved in liquid. Gas is dissolved in liquid is directly proportional to partial pressure of upper surface of the liquid. Partial pressure of upper surface of the liquid or solution is called Henry's law. If Henry's law means you can easily remember that is a soda water. You can easily explain the Henry's law. When here the surface of the liquid, here the space is there, that is pressure it will create. That is called as partial pressure. What we are adding in soda water? Carbon dioxide. What is there in water? Gas at a constant temperature, the solubility of gas is dissolved in liquid. The solubility of gas is dissolved in liquid is directly proportional to partial pressure in upper surface of the liquid is called as Henry's law. When we are open the bottle means the bubbles is coming here where upper surface of the liquid. The carbon dioxide is there in water. That is called as Henry's law. What is the application of Henry's law? Application of Henry's law means I told it is used for aerated soft drinks. Soft drinks are soda water. It is one of the important used preparation of soda water or soft drinks or aerated drinks. Okay, that is the first important. Second one, in the deep sea level, the scuba diver. In the sea level, they are using a oxygen cylinder. It is where oxygen is a gas, the water is liquid. It is also one of the important use in second one. It is the application of Henry's law. First one is a soft drinks and the second one is the deep sea level, here the scuba diver, that is using the oxygen in water. That is the second one. This is the Henry's law concept. The gas is dissolved in liquid. Sometimes in textbook they are given the formula of Henry's law. Here the gas is dissolved in liquid. Where symbol is X. X means here the gas is dissolved in liquid at a constant temperature. The solubility of gas is dissolved in liquid is directly proportional to P. This is the Henry's law. X is directly proportional to P, where X equals to KHP. Write the mathematical expression of Henry's law. X is directly proportional to P, where X equals to KHP. KH means Henry's constant, P means partial vapor pressure, X means mole fraction, gas is dissolved in liquid. You can easily tell X is directly proportional to P means at a constant temperature, the solubility of gas is dissolved in liquid is directly proportional to vapor pressure of the liquid or solution, is called as Henry's law. In textbook they are given reverse. The vapor pressure of gas is dissolved in liquid. The vapor pressure of gas is dissolved in liquid is directly proportional to mole fraction. But we are mentioned here the gas is dissolved in liquid. That is very, very important. Okay. The gas is dissolved in liquid is called the Henry's law. Both we can write X is directly proportional to P or P is directly proportional to X, but you have to mention the gas is dissolved in liquid is directly proportional to pressure, or the gas is dissolved in liquid vapor pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction. Both we can write. Sometimes they will also explain the state Henry's law and write mathematical expression. State Henry's law, write application. This is very, very important in board examination. Okay. Next, another factor, we will go for last factor, solid in liquid, gas in liquid, last one is liquid in liquid. Liquid in liquid, this is the last one, the solubility of compound that is applied to the Rhodes law. Okay. We will go for the another one, the solubility concept. Liquid in liquid. Sir, how it pressure it will create? How it will create pressure? If water is there and some of solvent ethanol is there. Ethanol and water, the both are vapor pressure is same, does not create. If the hexane and heptane, suppose we have taken the both liquid is there means it will create the pressure. If water, if you go for 100 degree means 50 to 60 degree means the pressure it will create. That is, you can observe in preparation of rice in cooker, the water also above 100 degree, the pressure it will create. In liquid, the two liquid, pressure it will create. Here, according to Rhodes law, okay, Rhodes law state that at a constant temperature, two volatile liquid vapor pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction is called Rhodes law. Okay. Here what will happen? The two volatile liquid vapor pressure means liquid A and liquid B both are vapor pressure is there. ಇಬ್ಬರು ನಡುವೆ ಘರ್ಷಣೆ ಆಗಬೇಕಂದರೆ ಇಬ್ಬರು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅವಾಗ ಘರ್ಷಣೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಬ್ರು ವೀಕು ಒಬ್ರು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಘರ್ಷಣೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದೇ ತರ ವೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಆಗಿ ವಾಲಟೈಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬೇಗ ಎವಾಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗುವಂತಹ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಎರಡನ್ನು ಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ವೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. vapor pressure, the two volatile liquid vapor pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction. Here the P is directly proportional to X. This is mathematical expression of Rolle's law. If the solvent A and solvent B, here the P total equals to P1 and P2. What is P total? Means here the P is directly proportional to X. Okay. P is directly proportional to X means if P1 is directly proportional to X1 and P1 means it is a liquid A, here P1. P2 means it is liquid B, here the P1 and P2 is there. If here the P total equals to P1 and P2, if P1 means is a P1, the vapor pressure of component 1 is directly proportional to mole fraction. Vapor pressure of component 2 P2 is directly proportional to X2. Now we will go for P1 equals to P01 into X1, P2 equals to P02 into X2. Okay. Next here the P is directly proportional to X. P total equals to P1. Coming to here, the P1 is directly proportional to X1, P2 is directly proportional to X2. P1 means solvent vapor pressure, P01 means pure solvent vapor pressure. This is a pure solvent vapor pressure, this is the component 1. This is a pure solvent vapor pressure, this is the component 2. Okay. If here P1 minus P01, what is P1 and P01? Clear artha madkoli. P1 ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಇದು solvent ನ solution vapor pressure ಇದೆ. ಇದು ಯಾವುದು vapor pressure? Solution vapor pressure. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಸೇರಿದಾವೆ, ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ವೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. ಇದು ಪ್ಯೂರ್ ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ವೇಪರ್ ಪ್ರೆಷರ್. Okay. P1 equals to P01 in X1, P2 equals to P02 in X2. Here P total equals to P1 and P2. Here P total equals to, what is the P1 value? P01 X1 plus P02 X2. Here P total equals to P01 X1 plus P02 X2. Where given here X1 equals to 1 minus X2. X1 value is 1 minus X2. Here P01 1 minus X1 plus P02 X2. Here the P01 into 1, here P01 minus P01, here X1 equals to 1 minus X2. Here P01 into X2 means P01 into X2 plus P02 X2. I will remove the constant here. P01, okay, minus P01 plus P02 minus P01 into X2. This is the P total. Okay. Here X2 here remove outside. We are getting P02 plus P02 minus P01. In case here X1 equals to 1 minus X2, in case X2 equals to 1 minus X1 means we are getting also here P02 equals to P02 minus P naught 1 minus P naught. This is the value. Rhodes law. Okay. Okay, student. This is the solubility concept. Solid in liquid. This is no law here. Easily solute is dissolved in solvent, but the gas is dissolved in liquid. Liquid is dissolved in liquid. Gas is dissolved in liquid. That is Henry's law. At a constant temperature, the solubility of liquid is directly proportional to mole fraction. That is called Henry's law. Next, liquid is dissolved in liquid. That is the Rhodes law. Rhodes law is a pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction. X is mole fraction. You should remember it is having X value is mole fraction. Here the Henry's law, X is directly proportional to P, but the gas is dissolved in liquid. Here liquid is dissolved in liquid. The two liquid vapor pressure, two volatile liquid vapor pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction. Liquid is liquid. Volatile liquid vapor pressure means liquid is liquid. Liquid is directly proportional to mole fraction. Okay. Here the P total means here the P1 is directly proportional to X1, P2 is directly proportional to X2, P1 equals to P01 and X1, P2 equals to P02 into X2. You know it is having P total equals to P1 plus P2 component 1 and component 2. When the P total equals to P01 X1, P02 X2. When X1 value here given here 1 minus X2. P01 minus 1 minus x2 plus P01, P02 x2. We have removed the x2 means constant. We have removed means here the P01 plus P02 minus P01 into x2. This is the Rhodes law. Okay. Next we will go for the ideal solution and non-ideal solution and azotropes of the solution. What are azotropes? Different. What is the colligative properties? We will go for one by one. Today we have discussed solubility factor, mole fraction, and percentage of solution, and parts per million. Last one is solubility concept. Okay. Next part of the solution we will start the colligative properties are ideal and non-ideal solution. Okay. Thank you very much, student.